That takes us to the mayor of El Paso, Oscar Leeser. Mr. Mayor, it's good to have you. The mayor just corrected me when we were talking before. I said, you know, you weren't elected to have to take care of these people that aren't your citizens. And you said, yes, we are. We're a border city. It's part of our responsibility. What do you think about how it's working right now?
You know, one of the things that we have had a lot of federal aid, and we've been working with the federal government. Secretary Mayorkas has really provided the resources that we've needed for the community of El Paso. And it's not on the back of the local taxpayers, it is on the federal government. And it's one of the things that we've been working with to make sure that, because a city like El Paso, nowhere up in the Rio Grande Valley, we could afford to do it on the local backs of the taxpayers. So they're not coming to El Paso, as you well know, they're coming to the United States. And it's for us to help them and work with them and make sure they're treated just the way we would want to be treated, make sure we treat them humanely, make sure we treat them with respect, and help them move to their next destination, which is to meet with their friends, meet with their family, or have a job that they're going to. So it's really important, and we don't want to ever ship anybody, put them on a bus, take them somewhere that they don't want to go to. We want to make sure that we help them go to the destination of their choice.
But how do you balance the heart with the head, in that if they're coming in illegally into the communities and versus legally, how are you supposed to deal with that?
Well, we work with the immigration laws, and we need to make sure we continue to do that. But we also work with the Red Cross. The Red Cross came down about 2 weeks ago to work with the diocese, work with the NGOs, and help them for the people that really had not come through the immigration process. They help them, give them shelter, and give them people to help them work, and food and clothing. So it's, you know, it's up to us as a community to work with everybody. But again, like you said, and we talked about earlier, we do have the responsibility to people of El Paso to make sure our community continues to be a safe community, but we also have the responsibility to our asylum seekers.
Why do you think it is that we've never seen numbers as great as now, and how much of that is put on the Biden administration for a messaging problem that makes people like these young kids from Venezuela susceptible to thinking that if you get here, no matter whether you cross legally or illegally, you'll be fine?
Well, that's because they had the wrong information, and we've talked about this a lot, that people came down here saying if you get here before Title 42 expires,
right, then
you'll be in the United States legally, and you'll have immigration, you'll have...
catch and release sends that message also.
Well, they were told that if they got here, they would have immigration asylum, and that wasn't the case. The border was not open a week ago. The border is not open today. But we'll continue to work with our partners, and we know it's broken. The immigration process broke. It didn't break this year. It didn't break 5 years ago. As you know, and I think you reported before, when was the last time they did anything to the immigration process? Decades ago. So I think Congress, Senate, they need to learn to disagree. And now let's compromise and come up with a long-term solution to a problem that's been here a long time.
When you ask friends at the state or the federal level, why can't you guys do better than this? What do they tell you?
Because it's got to be the political will, and the political will has to change immigration law, the immigration process, and it has to go. And we can't just continue to point fingers, because it doesn't change anything. How long have we been pointing fingers? For decades? And what has to change? Not a darn thing. So we need to now go forward and really, like I said, learn that we're going to disagree and come up with some compromise. It's a long-term solution to what's been a long-term problem.
In your community, do you believe that what's happened here over the last 5 or 6 days is proof that it was getting better than expected?
Well, it wasn't getting better than expected, and we all know that they all came here because they wanted to be here prior to Title 42 expiring. We had huge numbers. If you went down to Sacred Heart, there was over 3,000 people on the streets.
Sacred Heart is this local church where we met those kids, and they do the Catholic thing, taking people in, but it's become a way station.
Well, no, but they don't have the capacity to take people in.
No, not even close.
There was no way they could. So they went in there, and the federal government, CBP, went in there and started registering them, helping them go through the immigration process and go through the federal law to register to become legal into the process. So they did that, and if you see today, those numbers are not big. Right here, this particular here, on the night of Title 42 expiring, there was 1,800 people right out here because they all wanted to beat the end of Title 42. Those numbers you keep talking about that are really high numbers. Remember, people come in once, come in twice. A lot of people come in 4 or 5 times, and you keep counting them. So really, that number is a number that we really don't know what the real number is. We know it's higher. There's no ifs and buts about that. But we know that that's not the number that it's one person at a time. It's somebody that might have been in here 10 times
But as
through the
long
years.
as people know that if you come in illegally and they catch you, there's a good chance that you'll be released. And even if you say that you want an asylum claim, you come in legally, and you say you want asylum, that there's a really good chance that you'll be released and have to have a future court date, why would anybody not come and take the chance?
But you still have to come in through the process, the legal process, and continue to go through that. Because if you come in and you don't go through the process, through Title VIII, you'll be returned. And if you get returned the first time, it's a 5-year minimum expulsion. The second
Not
time,
all
it'll
of
be
them get returned.
it'll be No, if I said if, that's what I'm saying. If you get returned through Title VIII, then that's what ends up happening. Second time, it becomes a permanent expulsion, and they want to make their life better, as you were talking about. They want to come to America to be able to provide better for their family and their children, and that's what we want to continue to help them work with. So as the city of El Paso, has a huge heart. We want to make sure that we do everything we can, but we also have federal laws and immigration laws that we'll continue to follow and make sure that we do that, but make sure we treat people the way you and I would want to be treated.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.